Little Things was directed by John Lee Hancock. It stars Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. It's a crime thriller type. The story revolves around a series of murder mysteries. Several bodies of dead and mutilated women have been scattered around the town, and all these murders link to one killer. Denzel Washington plays the role of Deputy Sheriff Joe Deck. On the surface, he seems like a normal guy, but he has a troubling past, which has affected how he is treated as a police officer and how he's perceived by his peers. As the movie develops, this mystery is revealed. Rami Malek plays the character Detective Baxter. He is very well educated and a family man. He has shown talent for detective work, and he's working with the sheriff on this case. Jared Leto plays the character Albert Sparmer. In society, he would be considered to be a lowlife. He has, very bad physical appearance and talks like he has little to no education. The sheriff and the detective have him as their main suspect, since he has a criminal record that relates to their case. The movie does well at setting the tone right at the beginning. It starts off with an average girl trying to get away from this mysterious male figure. The atmosphere feels menacing and thrilling. Right away, we know that this mysterious figure is a threat, indicating that this must be the killer. We don't get to know the main characters in depth. They are all very ambiguous and they behave in strange ways, which makes them all suspicious. One of the three main characters is the killer, and the mystery of who it could be is played out like a slow burn, as if it was building up for a big reveal in the end. There was an interesting scene with the two detectives. I just bit my tongue. Ouch. There was an interesting scene with the two detectives questioning Albert Sparmer in an interrogation, and Jared Leto completely stole the spotlight in this scene. He really pulls it off in his role as a man who is a lowlife and deeply mentally disturbed. His performance in this was great. In some moments he was creepy and unpredictable, and in other moments he was funny in a dark, twisted way. In the cinema, I could hear the audience laughing at his twisted jokes. I was laughing too. Just the manner that Jared Leto played the character was hilarious. Denzel Washington and Rami Malek also gave great emotional performances. I think that the interrogation scene was the highlight of the movie. It's when all the three main characters came together to solve this big mystery. It was comical and tense at the same time. Despite all the good aspects of this film, the way they concluded it left me walking out of the cinema underwhelmed. The way they built it up felt like it was leading towards a big reveal in the end, but that's not how it happened. Detective Baxter remains certain that Albert Sparmer was the true killer, but there's no actual physical evidence to prove that. So it could be any of them three. It could be any of them. And it's up to the audience's interpretations of who they think the killer was. This was very anticlimactic. I was expecting a big plot twist. The movie is called The Little Things, meaning that it's the little things that get you caught. They are detectives. Their job is to find the little things that get them to solve crimes. It's symbolized a lot in this film. The little signs in their behavior that make them all look suspicious that any of them could have been the killer. The pacing of the movie is slow and tense, like it's building up to a twist, yet there is no twist. It seems that the director didn't want to live up to the expectation that a crime thriller needs to have a shocking twist in the end. It looks like he wanted it to leave it open-ended for the audience to make the judgment. Open endings can be interesting when they are executed well. In order for an open ending to make sense, it needs to have some sort of closure. In order for an audience to be interested in a story, the main characters need to have a goal. And in order to conclude that story in a satisfying way, the characters need to have reached that goal. In this case, the main character's goal was to find evidence for the suspect and close the case. To leave it open-ended, they either would have had to find clear evidence for their suspect, but he got away with it, or they caught their suspect, arrested him, and closed the case, but the person they arrested wasn't the true killer. That's one example of how they could have had it open-ended with closure. It is an interesting crime thriller with great build-up and good performances, but the way they ended it was just anticlimactic. Then again, art is subjective and each have their own opinions. Some people may have interpreted it in a different way and thought that the ending was satisfying, but for me, it didn't give closure. That's just my interpretation of the film. So that's my honest review for the movie The Little Things, and thank you for watching.